So today I'm going to show you this design. This is just a very simple patterned French tip with some accents onto it, a little decal or Fimo flower and some micro beads. So there's a couple of different ways that you can achieve this particular look. If you have a crackle top coat like this one by Finger Paints, which is really the only one I have other than a red one of the same brand, then you can create a pattern in your French tip very, very easily. However, what I did was I actually drew a pattern in my French tip and then used a glitter over it. I like this result a lot better. This was my test using the crackle coat, and I don't know if you can tell, but it just isn't as impressive. What I did was I used a nice solid blue base like this one and used that as the French tip, and then over that I put a layer of the crackle coat on this one, the right example, and then I just let that dry. And then just to compare, I went over and I just took a very fine nail brush like this one and I painted on the design that you see here, and basically I just painted a little cobweb type of pattern. Then I topped both of those with a very pretty Wet n Wild color icon color called Bow in My Presence, or Bow in My Presence, sorry. This one here. It's just a very, very pretty variegated glitter, basically, and I just thought that on this one it just showed up so much better. And the pattern looks a little funny when you put it on, but once you put on the glitter it just blends together really nicely, and I just didn't think that this one came out looking as impressive. So it's really up to you which way you go. If you want it to be really quick and fast, you can use a crackle top coat, but if you want to have kind of a pretty pattern showing through, then I would paint it by hand. We're going to be adding accents to this nail, so it's not really necessary to get the bottom line of the French tip especially even, so I'm not going to go over it more than once. I also want my French tip coat to be as thin as possible so we don't have too many layers. Okay, now you'll just want to draw some sort of random pattern onto the French tip, and it really does not have to be anything too standard or similar on each one, because it'll be well covered by the glitter that we put on. So what you could do is just start by drawing some simple caps like this, and then a line up. And then just drawing some more designs like this. And some other in-between lines like this. And again, it's going to look kind of bizarre, and don't worry about that. It does not have to be even, because it'll be really, really well covered later. So just, you know, have fun with it. Just do whatever you want. Okay, now when that part dries, just go ahead and take your favorite glitter. Again, I'm going to go ahead and use this Wet n Wild one. It's called Bow in My Presence. And just paint right over that. Staying within the lines of the French tip, of course. If you have a wheel like this that has a lot of the pre-cut feeble pieces in it, then that's going to make it a lot easier for you. Otherwise, go ahead and cut out enough little decals that you can put one on each finger. And you can just stick these down with a little bit of top coat. Then get some micro dots ready and you can begin sticking those down on the nail as well. The way that I find it easiest to work with micro beads is to use water to pick them up and then use top coat to stick them down. So basically you'll just want to have a little reservoir of water available nearby, like a little cap full of water. Then put down your top coat like this. Get some water on your dotting tool and pick up a whole bunch of the micro beads at once, like that. If you can see that little cluster at the end of the dotting tool there. Then just lay them down on top of the top coat, and because the top coat is more sticky than the water, it'll just pull it right off of whatever tool you're using to set them down. And then you just roll them into place. And then you just, for the end part of it, you just pick up a couple of micro beads one at a time and lay them into place. And roll off any extras that you don't need, and you're done in just a short amount of time. You can then go ahead and, as the nail polish underneath dries a little bit, you can play with the angle that you want the line of micro beads to conform to, whether you want it to curve down or whether you want it to be perfectly straight, and how close you want it to be to the Fimo decal. Okay, at this point you're ready to top coat your design, and don't go all the way down to your cuticle. Just start about where the moon of the nail bed is and then go to the end of the nail. And your goal is to, of course, shine everything up, but also to make everything stick. And to that end, I would recommend not going all the way down to the edge of your nail with your line of micro dots, because that will make it harder for them to stick without falling off. So just leave a tiny little gap there, and then that way your top coat will flow over that and keep them in place. Another thing you can do to be careful is to lay your top coat down over the line of micro dots first, like this. And the decal. And then finish smoothing it down. Okay, and then after you've added your top coat to your design, clean up any nail polish that has spilled over onto the edges or crevices in the nails, and go ahead and add some cuticle cream, of course, and you are good to go. I hope you enjoyed this design, and I'll see you in the next video.